From that, Minister of State for Climate Change and Sustainability, Seydou Issoufou, has announced a major government initiative to unlock the full potential of nature-based solutions through strengthened collaboration across all sectors of society. Speaking at the Africa Climate Dialogue 2025 held in Accra, the minister said the plan aims to deepen partnerships among government, academia, the private sector and civil society to ensure that research drives policy and that investment supports sustainable, nature-aligned development.
The minister said the new approach would align Ghana's climate agenda with global frameworks such as the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework and the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, both of which seek to mobilize international support and attract climate finance for ecosystem protection and restoration. The minister reiterated government is taking a whole government approach to climate action, with efforts underway to institutionalize climate change and sustainability units across all ministries, departments, and assemblies to mainstream climate considerations into national planning and budgeting. He also revealed plans to establish a national climate change and sustainability hub, which will serve as a center of excellence for policy innovation, research, and knowledge exchange.
We are also in a position or initiated plans to ensure that we establish climate and sustainability units in all ministries in Ghana. Not only all ministries, but looking at even the district assembly level. How do we position ourselves to locally led adaptations? How do we position ourselves to educate people at the extreme end where vulnerability levels are very high? We all know that climate change is a behavioral thing. People must be educated. People must be sensitized. So establishing this climate and sustainability units in all the ministries, following up to do it in all these assemblies, will aid us in our fight against the threats of climate change.
Board Chair of Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action, Reverend Dr. Joyce Ayi, in her welcome address, reiterated the center's commitment to supporting governments and stakeholders to integrate nature-based solutions into national policy frameworks. She described NBS as the most cost-effective and practical pathway to environmental protection, social progress, and economic resilience. The dialogue, organized by the Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action, brought together key stakeholders including development partners, researchers, private sector leaders, and civil society actors to explore how nature-based approaches can accelerate the continent's transition to a sustainable, low-carbon future.
The Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action was established with a clear and urgent mission to champion the adoption and integration of nature-based solutions as a core strategy in Africa's response to climate change. The center seeks to leverage the continent's abundant natural capital, our forests, our soils, our wetlands, our rivers, our coastlines, to build climate resilience, enhance biodiversity, and drive sustainable development. We're all aware that the globe is still struggling with the interconnected and growing problems of land degradation, biodiversity loss, and climate change. These issues are no longer hypothetical dangers. On the contrary, they are everyday occurrences throughout Africa. They have an impact on infrastructure, public health, our food and water security, and the livelihoods of millions of people who directly rely on natural ecosystems for their life. These crises could make existing inequalities worse and reverse the progress we have already made in development. Ladies and gentlemen, as a center, we believe that these formidable obstacles also present for us remarkable chances for change. We can use nature's power to repair damaged landscapes, shield our communities from climate shocks, and generate green jobs that promote equitable economic growth. National development makes it clear how urgently African nations must incorporate nature-based ideas into their national planning, finance, and policy-making processes. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action stands ready and committed to working hand in hand with governments, the private sector, academia, civil society, and our development partners to accelerate the implementation of nature-based climate solutions in Ghana and across the continent.